Good afternoon. It is Tuesday. Welcome to Stampin' with Jen, Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. Just catching up to make sure I can see myself on Facebook so I can see comments and stuff. So give me just a minute. And let's see, where am I at? That's weird. It's not showing me as live, but I don't know what's going on here. Let's hit refresh. Oh, there I am. I'm live now. Sorry about that, folks. All right. Well, welcome. It is Teach It Tuesday. Like I said, it's Teach It Tuesday with Tammy and Jenny. And I have to figure this out. It's crooked. Let's go up a little bit. Hate to. Anyway, there we go. Hey, Tammy, welcome. And I think I have to turn my glass mat a little bit. But maybe I needed to turn it opposite. I don't know. I don't want to make anybody dizzy. We'll just leave it as is. All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday, February 18th. Sorry, off the last 4 days, and I just sort of lost track of time. So, but welcome. Today, Tammy and I are doing celebrations. Welcome, Debbie. You still did not vacuum, but you found your stamp set, Tammy. Oh, cool. I must have missed it. I haven't had a chance to watch Tammy's live. I was at work today, this morning, so I will be watching it after I get off here. I can't wait to see what she's made. I did see a picture of it, and she did a beautiful card, so I can't wait to see it. I know that it's going to be cased, I hear, and so I'm excited to see how everything turns out. So I can't wait to see your card, Tammy, and your video after this. So, all right, let's go ahead. And Tammy and I are doing celebration stuff today, and I'm using 3 different products from Sale-A-Bration catalog. I'm using the Day to Celebrate stamp set, the purple adhesive back sequins, and I'm using the Toadstool Gardens pattern paper, designer series paper. Again, I used this a while back. A lot of fun, but now I'm using the B side, the back side of it, and I will show you what we're going to be using. Let me show you where you can find those. Each one of those items can be earned for free with a $60 purchase before tax and shipping. Almost tax and licensing. Whoa, tax and shipping. Those can be found. Let's see. The Day to Celebrate is on page 7. It's one of the very first ones. And then the Toadstool paper is right on page 8, right behind it. And I believe the sequins is on the following page, on page 10. So these are the 3 items I'm using today. Last week I used the Bloom Impressions and the Pick a Season. And this week I'm using the Toadstool and the Day to Celebrate and the purple sequence. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you what our card is going to look like. And this is my card, and as I said in my blog, hi Patty, welcome. When you get to my blog tomorrow, you'll see I shared in my blog that these are colors I don't normally gravitate towards. I pushed myself into out of my comfort zone in colors. I'm not a pinks person. I'm typically more of your blues and your greens, yellows a little bit, but I love the Melon Mambo, and I love the coloring in the Toadstool's Gardens. And actually what we're going to be using, though, is not what I was going to use originally was this wave paper, but it just was too much with their stamp sets. So I've gone with the, let's see, which paper is it? It's the back side of the stripe paper. So that's rather busy too, but I love the polka dots, the dots. So you love pink, Debbie. Well, that's great. And Patty loves these colors. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you think it's cute, Debbie. So let's go ahead and get started. This uses one of my favorite techniques in terms of creating my own pattern paper. And so here's what we're going to have to begin with. Now, I never put all of that away. So my card base is a 8.5 by 5.5 of the fresh freesia, and we'll go ahead and I want to say baste it. Oh, words are not good for me today. Burnish it. We're not basting it. We're not baking. We're not cooking. We're not basting. And then I'm going to have a piece of garden or granny apple green and 2 pieces of basic white. And then out of, and these measurements will be on my blog, but out of a 2.5 by 2.5 square of granny apple green, we'd cut a circle from the Stylish Shapes, and then out of a 2-inch by 2-inch square, we're going to cut a circle out of the basic white, and we're going to be using that. And then we're also going to be cutting we need 3 1/2-inch pieces of this polka dotted paper here. And I thought I'd cut those. I tell you, this 40 weekend that I had, it just, I did nothing. Really, I did very little. I did a few things, but I didn't do much of anything except for catch up on a couple of series that were recommended to me, and I binge watched 1883 and the first season of 1923. Words were difficult for all 3 of us today. It must be the day. It's the 4-day weekend that we came off of, or the 3-day weekend, depending on what your job is. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Again, 8.5 by 5.5. Scored at 4 1/4 for our fresh freezer. We're going to put that aside, and I'm going to go ahead and cut down my granny apple green, and the granny apple green will be cut down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So 4, and the 1/8. I'll see if I can point to it here. Your 1/8 is your first medium line right here, because you have the 4-inch, a small 16th, and then this is the 1/8. And so we're going to go right there to the 1/8. So we're going to go 4 1/8 wide. And then we're going to go 5 3/8. So we're going to go 5 and then go medium, quarter, and then the 3rd 1/8 is right there. It's the medium line between the 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch. And we're going to cut that. And then while we're cutting things down, let's go ahead and cut down one of our white is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Let's see. Now I need to locate that DSP. I haven't looked at it yet. Oh, it's really cool. It's off camera. I'm missing something. They're both amazing. I'm missing something. Wicked colors. Yes, they are wicked colors. Panic Tammy. Wicked colors. I got it now. Yes, wicked. I'm a little slow on the uptake today, guys. So now we're going to go 4 by 5 1/4. And then the other white one that goes on the inside. Oh, now I know I have 2. Now I know I have 2 green ones. I'll tell you in just a minute. The other green one is for the inside. So let me go ahead and cut the white one. And this white one is going to be, for the interior, is 3 3/4 by 5. I was pointing out the 1/8. Oh, when you measure at the bottom, oh, you can't see it. Oh, all right. Let me point them out to again. All right, so this is the 3 3/4 by 5, and that's the interior. And we're going to go 4 1/4 wide. No, 4 inches wide on this. But what I was pointing out to you is we have our 4-inch here, and the first medium mark here is actually our 1/8. The smallest line is the 16th. So you have 1/16, 4 1/8. 4 2/16, 4 2/8, which is the same when you do fractions as 1/4. And then the 3/8 is right here. It's the one between the 1/4 and the 1/2 inch mark. So, all right. Anyway, I spy my paper behind me, going to grab it. Oh, great. Debbie says, my husband walked by my craft room early and asked if I was done with the vacuum. I said, yep. So he thought that he better wind up the cord and put that backing away for me. Oh, that was sweet. My husband's walked by my craft area and says, next house we're going to get a craft area where there's doors. Because my craft area is my, what is considered a formal dining room, but there's nothing formal about our family. So anyway, okay, so our inside green layer of granny apple green is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. And you know what? I'm going to turn it this way. 5 1/4 inch. All right, so we'll put all these pieces aside, and now we can put, oh, we don't want to put our paper trimmer away yet. Let me cut my other pieces. And let's see, we're going to cut 3 1/2 inches off of here. So we're going to go 1/2 inch, another 1/2 inch, and then another 1/2 inch. This way I can get everything put aside and I'm not pulling out my paper trimmer anymore. Oh, Tammy, I still have to add my white paper to this. I want to do that. That was a great tip from you on Saturday. So, all right, let me put my paper away, or my paper trimmer away. Now I have everything the way I need it. Let's make sure I get the correct one here. And I'm going to grab a piece of paper for stamping on. Here's a piece of grid paper that I've cut in half for my stamping. And what we're going to do is we're going to create our own background, and we're going to use the megaphone, the curly Q confetti streamer, and the splotch on our background. So let's go ahead and get that out. And I want to do granny apple green for my melon mambo for my my megaphone. So let's go ahead and get that out now. And let's see, we're gonna just put it here, and then we're just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna stamp and twist my paper and twist my megaphone and just put it different places. Remembering that I'm going to do a second color in the megaphone, so I don't want to do too many of this one color. And I might do one more right here. All right. And we're going to use this again, so I'm going to close it and put it up here. I need to clean my my stamp. Certainly wouldn't want to mix the melon mambo in with my granny apple green. And now let's go ahead and put our granny apple green megaphone on here. There we go, one there. And let's go here, over here. I think we're gonna go right here. All right, so there's our megaphones. Now we're gonna take our pretty in pink. Oops. And I'm gonna put my megaphone over here. I'm gonna clean it real quick. Otherwise, sometimes my stamps sit for an extra few hours. Because right after this, I tend to go work on my blog and get dinner together, because by the time we're done here, it's almost dinner time. All right, we're going to use the confetti with our pretty in pink, and I'm just going to put some randomly places. All right, here we go. All right, almost done here, and then we're going to add our splotches with right there. And then we're gonna go ahead. You love this pack of toadstool. You know what? I do too, and it's colors I normally am not drawn to, but I love the colors and the way they have them together. So let's go ahead and clean this off. And then I'm going to use fresh freesia and my little pom-pom splotch. I don't call it, I call it a splotch. And I'm gonna just put some fresh freesia here and around in some of those open spaces. We don't want to get too crowded, but we want it to look festive because this card will end up being a happy birthday card. All right, perfect. All right, love this. All right, let's put that aside. And now we have our own designed pattern paper. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to layer it. Before I layer it, we're going to go ahead and put our stripes on here. And I'm trying to decide, I think we'll do a stripe here. And then we're going to do another stripe. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Tammy. It's fun. You know, it's fun because then you get your paper to look exactly what you want. And, you know, it just, I don't know, there's something about customizing it, which is really fun to do, being able to customize. So I'm going to put my, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn this over because I'm trying to get that to line up. So we're going to use the ruler side to make sure these are nice and straight. And sorry, I'm not talking when I'm looking. Sometimes I can't think and talk at the same time. That didn't come out right. Anyway, yep, those are all nice and lined up. So let's go ahead and glue. It would be a fun Wicked card. It's funny, when you said it was Wicked colors, I thought you meant like crazy Wicked, like, I don't know. I wasn't thinking the movie Wicked, but this is totally the movie Wicked. And this would be a fun Wicked card. It'd be fun if there was a stamp that said, "You're wicked," or something like that, in a fun way kind of thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and put some glue on the back. And let's see, I'm going to need my needle to, I always keep on my desk. I don't sew much, but I do have some of these straight pins, and I always keep one on my desk to go in because sometimes the glue dries out in the nozzle area, and I use it to pull out whatever is dried in there. And then if it's getting it's all clogged up. So let's go ahead now. And there's still a little bit there. Let's see. You can see it. I've almost got it out. It gets pretty thick when it starts drying there. There we go. And I'll set that aside so I can clean it later. And then I clean it with Make Your Own Sentiment. I could. Ooh, mini alphabet letters for Wicked. Oh my goodness, Patty. Yeah, that's an idea. So, all right, so we're going to put this here, and I had it. Where did I put it? There it is. Another tip, when you're doing this and you're using paper to line up though, what I would do also is you could use the silicone mat, because then your paper won't necessarily stick. So let's go ahead and line it up right here. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and put it right about here. And then we're going to take the other piece, but they look fun die cut with some of those patterns in the pack. You know what? Oh gosh, can you imagine die cutting some of this in letters? Oh, that would be fun. That would be wicked, totally wicked, as in awesome, wicked. So, all right, let's go ahead and put this one here. I'm having fun playing with those words right now. All right. We got that. Now, I'm going to use my fun little titanium nonstick scissors that I was recommended to me by Patty, because then you don't get your paper snips all gummied up. I mean, you can clean your gummy stamps or your gummied up paper snips, but sometimes it's better just to have an extra pair of scissors that are for non-stick, so that you don't have to worry about doing that. All right, so there is our paper. And we're going to move all of this off to the side. And we're going to attach this to the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 Granny Apple Green. And we're going to have just a very light trim or matting on it. So, well, now I want to go watch Wicked again. But I'm cheap and I won't pay for the 20 bucks it costs to rent it, so I'll have to wait until it's free. So it's one of those things. All right, there we got that. And let's go ahead and attach this to our Fresh Freesia. I love how the Granny Apple Green pops off the Fresh Freesia card base. And it just, I love these colors together. I didn't think I would, but I do. I really, really do. That's the one thing I love about how Stampin' Up. I don't know what it is, but just about any color you can put together in some way. It looks, in some way or another, it looks good. Somehow it works out, even when you don't think it will. All right, so there's our most of our card. Now we're going to go ahead and take our circle that we cut out of a 2x2, and we used, where's my, I think I put my, let me get them for you. I think I put my, Sale-A-Shapes away. Here we are. They're right behind me. This is the one I used. I used the third from the smallest. So if you go from the smallest in, make sure you guys can see this. You have the smallest circle, the second smallest circle is the third smallest. I did the third smallest circle and the fourth smallest from, if you go from the inside out, or if you go from the outside in. We basically used the 2 middle circles is what we did. The bigger circle is for the green, and the smaller one was for the basic white. All right, and we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is, it's a good day to celebrate, and we're going to do it in Fresh Freesia. So let's go ahead and ink that up. And all of these photopolymers, what I've done is I've primed them on a Versamark ink before I used them with my colored ink so that they would take to the colored ink better. You need to prime them first before you use them. Otherwise, the ink tends to look a little splotchy. So there's that. And we're going to glue that into the center here. And, you know, for some reason, this card, I just didn't do any adhesive sheets or foam adhesive sheets or stamp or dimensionals. It's just rather flat, but that's okay. It makes it a little bit easier to mail. But sometimes you just go basic. All right, so we've got that. But it would look cute if you popped this up. I'm going to put a little glue on the back there. We're going to center it right here. Now, I probably should have brought that one over just a little bit more so it's centered, but no, that's about what I did on the other one too. All right, and we're going to go ahead and let's work on the inside of our card, and then we'll embellish our card when we're done. All right, so this, what I'm doing is I'm going to take the other 1/2 inch by 6 inch, I'm going to glue it and put it on the end here, and then we're going to attach this to our other Granny Apple Green, which nestles right in to the it layers very well, let's put it that way. All right, I'm gonna put that there. I always like to push it and tap it against my fingers so that I know it's even right up against the edge. We're gonna take our simple, yeah, I prime them with Versamark ink. Some people use erasers on them, Debbie. Some people just rub them on their pant legs. I've done all the things, and the one thing I found that works the best is using my Versamark ink. So it's clear, but there's something about it that helps clean them up and get them ready for being used. And this is the one way that I've found to prime them up so that you don't get the splotchiness on the photopolymers. So give it a try. It works great. Some people don't care for it. Some people do. I guess it's a matter of preference. The other ways can work, and other people swear by those. So it's just more of a preference thing, I guess. So here we go. So we'll do this. And before we put this in here on here, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it with my phrase "Happy Birthday," which also comes from A Day to Celebrate. And we're going to do it in Melon Mambo, so it really jumps out at you. All right up here. Make sure I'm straight. There we go. Happy birthday. Now we're going to go ahead and attach this to our granny apple green. And the granny apple green is 4 by 5 1/4. Your typical gives you about a quarter inch frame mat around. It's your typical mat layer for like an outside card if you're doing that. And so we're going to put that inside. Best way to clean the ink off your stamps. Oh, I use my Stampin' Scrub, and you can use the Simply Chamois to clean off the ink. Unfortunately, what you do find is that if you're using the purples and the pinks and the reds, they will stain your photopolymer. The ink doesn't come off, but it does stain them. But that's okay. As long as it stamps the color you want, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the stamp itself. All right. Oh, I'm glad you like the card. Now we're going to finish it off. Let me move this other way because it's got a little glue on it, with our purple adhesive backed sequins. And I'm going to use a lot of the purple, and I like my take your pick tool. I always call it take a pick. It's take your pick tool, and I love the putty side of it. Some people get frustrated with it, but I really like it. And it's funny, these say they're purple, but they go so well with the pinks. So we're just gonna throw a few on here. I'm just haphazardly throwing them on there, sort of like scattering. I'm gonna do different colors, and I think I put about 7 or so on the other one. Let's see. Let's do that right there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, there's 7 on there. So we're going to go with that. So there is our Day to Celebrate Happy Birthday card. Versamark. I don't use Versamark to clean my stamps. No. I use my Stampin' Scrub. The Stampin' Scrub. I go old school. I use this because I feel like to me it cleans things a little bit better. But you do have the Simply Chamois, and I have a set around here, but they've dried up. I haven't used them in a while. Where did I go? Oh, I have some right here that I use, and yeah, these are dry. I need to wet them down, and I put them in a stamp case like this. So yeah, see, it's a matter of preference. I like the chamois at times, but I also like this Stampin' Scrub, because there's sometimes I find that the chamois don't get the stamps clean enough, but that's a personal opinion. So anyway, here is our card with our happy birthday on the inside. I hope you enjoyed this. I will have all of the measurements, and thank you, Tammy. I'm so glad you think it's cute. I'm going to have all the measurements and all of these list of supplies that I used for this card. Oh, to clean the Versamark ink off, do you guys a chamois or scrub? You could use either one. You could use either one, to be perfectly honest, Debbie, because in that respect, and Patty was going to say you could use either one. Because it's like another ink. It's thicker, which is why it holds the embossing powder better. But it's like any other ink that you can just clean off with the Simply Chamois or the scrub. So tomorrow, everything will be on my website, on my blog, www.Stampin with Jenn. There's 2 N's in Stampin, 2 N's in Jenn.com. And there will also be a link if you've missed Tammy's and want to watch hers. You can check hers out. There's a link on my blog to her blog, Cards by TLC, where she will have her video and all the information that she did for her card. Matter of fact, I can't wait to go and watch her video. You're welcome, Debbie. I'm so glad you're able to, I'm glad you like the advice. But I look forward to sharing this with you tomorrow. Again, there's only, today's the 18th, so there's 10 days, including today, 9 days from tomorrow that you can take advantage of Stampin' Up's Sale-A-Bration. And I didn't print it off, but Stampin' Up has offered a few other additional things to what's in the catalog here. There are, I think, there's 2 or 3 stamp sets. There is a kit with frames, and there's several dies. There's an alphabet die, and then the trusty tools dies are in there. The brushed butterflies embellishments are in there. Brass. I'm going to try and say that one 10 times fast. The brushed brass butterflies are a part of the offerings, the free offerings. But if you choose those, you have to choose them from the page that they give you at the end of checkout, not enter them into with the code, because they've given them a different code for this period of time for Stampin' Up for Sale-A-Bration. But anyway, there's so many things to take advantage of, so many awesome products. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great afternoon, have a great evening, have a great week. And Tammy and I look forward to seeing you guys next week for actually, Tammy, Patty, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week for Teach It Tuesday. It's the scrapbook trio. We are going to be using the Meant to Be scrapbook workshop kit. Patty will be on at 9 a.m., I believe. Tammy at 11, and I will be on at 4 p.m., all those Pacific time. And Patty will be doing layout 1, Tammy layout 2, and I will be doing layout 3 with our tweaks. And we'll be sharing our lives with you and a little bit about who we are through our scrapbook pages next week. So I hope you join us next week for Teach It Tuesday, the Scrappin' Trio, or Trio Scrappin'. I think it's Scrappin' Trio, Scrapbook Trio. So anyway, have a great day. Have a good afternoon. Thanks, Scott. Bye-bye, everybody.